Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to another Ark Survival Evolved guide. Today I'm going to be teaching you about how to tame dinosaurs. So, if you didn't watch my previous video, A Beginner's Guide for Ark Survival Evolved, we talked a little bit about taming in that video, but I'm going to dive a little deeper into it and show you how to tame some dinos in this video. There are two methods for taming dinosaurs in Ark. There's the knockout method and the passive tame method. We're going to explore the knockout tame method first. You can knock out a dinosaur by punching it, by using a wooden club, by using a slingshot, or by using a bow and arrow with trank arrows, or by using a crossbow with trank arrows. Today I'm going to be using a crossbow loaded with trank arrows to show you how to tame dinosaurs. Assuming you're a beginner, you're probably going to be using a bow with trank arrows, so you won't do as much torpor damage as I will be doing with the crossbow. I recommend you level up as quickly as you can to try and get the crossbow, as it makes things a lot easier. However, a bow will work just fine. Just keep in mind you're probably going to have to use more trank arrows than I used in this video. Trank arrows can be crafted at level 21, and you craft stone arrows and combine stone arrows with narcotics to create tranquilizer arrows. Again, that's level 21. You learn that. I highly recommend you learn that before attempting to knock out and tame any large carnivores or higher level dinos, as it can get very dangerous very quickly. Alright, so the first thing to think about when you're scouting a tame or a new dino that you want to tame is what supplies do you need to take it down, and try to keep it to a minimum, because more often than not you're going to find dangers when trying to tame a dinosaur, and you don't want to lose any important stuff you've gathered. So store all your valuables before you find a dino to tame and attempt to tame it. For food and supplies to take down a dino, the Dodo Dex is really helpful. It's an app on the phone, it's a browser, you can look it up if you have any kind of internet, which you obviously do if you're watching this video. So I highly recommend you look up the requirements for the dino you're going to try to tame before you try to tame it, just to try to keep things easier and more concise. So we have a Therizinosaurus down here that we want to tame. It's a dangerous dinosaur, it's an aggressive dino. You want to make sure that you know what kind of dino you're taming before you try to tame it. So the easiest way to learn is just to walk up to it and see what happens. I already know if I walk up to within about 10 feet of that creature, it'll attack me and kill me. So, the question is, how do we tame something that's going to attack you and try to kill you as soon as you shoot at it? Well, the easiest answer is build a trap for it. Building a trap for dangerous dinos is an easy method to get safe tames and to keep them from running away when you get them on really low torpor, because all dinos will try to run from you when they're about to be knocked out, and faster ones are just really hard to catch without something like a good flyer or a fast ground creature, which I doubt you'll have if you're just beginning the game. So we're going to build a trap up here real quick for this Therizino, and then we'll guide you into it. Alright, so we got a basic trap here. You always want to build your traps out of stone, because most dinosaurs can't damage stone or won't be able to destroy it because it has a lot more health than other materials. You want to use door frames so that you can get out of the trap when you guide the dinosaur in. You're going to aggro the dino, you're going to run up the ramp and out through the doorway, and if the dinosaur's following you right, it'll fall into the trap. This should fit a Therizino. It's a 2x2. You can increase it to any size you want. You could just have one square if it's something like a raptor. You could have a 3x3 if it's something bigger like a Spino or a Rex, and it'll work just fine. Really don't try to make this out of wood, because wood will not work. The dino will destroy it if it's worth its salt. Be careful if you have any tame dinos already that you're using for transportations, because the Therizino or whatever you're trying to tame might aggro onto that, and you don't want that. So let's get this dino aggroed and lured into the trap. Okay, so we have the theory down here. We have our crossbow with the tranquilizer darts. Our trap is back up that way. We want to try to put as much distance between us, the theory, and the least distance between us and the trap, so that we can get to it quickly without being in a large amount of danger. Oh, okay, it's walking towards me. Alright, so we hit it. You're gonna run for your life here. This thing's gonna be close behind you. Do your best to guide it into the trap here. Oh, okay. So it's alright. It missed the trap. That's okay. Right now it can't hit us anyway. It's still over there. So this wall's still between us. If it goes around, we can guide it back into the trap. But right now it's just stuck on the wall for some reason. So you just keep hitting it with your trank arrows. Okay, it's starting to run. That means it's close to being knocked out. There we go. Come on. And there we go. The dino is unconscious. So that wasn't exactly how it was supposed to work out, but it ended up working. So that's all that matters. Now you see this unconscious bar? Once the creature is knocked out, it will slowly go down, and once it reaches 0, the creature will be back up and you will be unable to attempt to tame it. So as soon as you knock it out, you want to put its food of choice inside its inventory. For the dino, that's berries. I don't know the specific type of berries, so I just put a little bit of each kind and it'll eat the one it wants. And then once you put it the food that it likes to eat, you'll see that taming bar pop up on the bottom. It's at 0% right now. They eat in segments, so it'll pop up here in a second and he'll start to tame. As you can see there, he just tamed 10%, and his taming effectiveness is at 76% right now, probably because we shot him a few extra times with the arrows when he was unconscious. So he'll gain 4 levels upon taming. At that percentage rate, he'll be level 17 when he's tamed if we don't reduce that taming effectiveness anymore. But we might have to, because the one thing I forgot is to bring narcotics. So when a creature is unconscious and their unconscious bar is falling, you want to keep that as high as you possibly can to reduce the amount of, or the percentage chance that it will wake up again. So the best way to do that is to directly feed the creature narcotics to raise that bar back up, but I didn't take any narcotics with me. So I'm going to see if I can get some narco berries here. Narco berries can help a little bit. Force feed them to your unconscious creature. It can give them some torpor. If that doesn't work, I'll just have to shoot it again with the trank arrows, and it'll reduce the taming effectiveness, but it'll keep its unconscious bar high. Alright, so you can see we're at 20% and its bar is about halfway down. That's not great for us. So I'm going to force feed it these narco berries here by holding down the right trigger for the PS4. That's what I plan on. And hopefully that lowered it a bit. Stick some more berries in here. Yeah, so you can see like his unconscious bar is holding there for a little bit, but it's not really helping a whole lot. That's because they're just narco berries, not actual narcotics. But it is actually raising his unconscious a little bit, if you see that bar moving. Alright, and just like that, we have a tamed Therizinosaurus. You may notice its health is a little low. That's because I had to shoot it a few times with trank arrows while it was out to keep its unconsciousness level up. But it's doing fine, and now we have a new tamed dinosaur. The trap didn't quite work as intended, but you know, things seem to work out sometimes, so I'll take it as a win. So if you followed all those steps that I outlined, then you should be able to use the knockout method on anything that requires it. Do make sure that you know that the dinosaur you're trying to tame requires the knockout method before using it, because some can only be passive tamed and knocking it out will not help you at all. It will just knock it unconscious and do nothing else. so be careful to watch for that. So now we will showcase the passive tame. Okay, so there are a lot of different kind of passive tames in this game, ranging from the Lystrosaurus, where you just feed it berries, all the way up to the Tusoteuthis, which is a giant squid in the ocean that you feed black pearls while it's attacking your dinosaur. So depending on the one that you need to tame, the method may vary quite a bit. So again, I recommend Dotadex, look up that specific dino and its specific method, but I'll run through a few things with you right now. So for example, you might find an otter in a river. An otter requires you to kill a fish and drag its body to it and feed it the fish's body to tame it. So that's an example of a kind of passive tame. Titan boas, which are the giant snakes you'll find in swamps, like this one over here. They require you to sneak up on it, probably using a ghillie suit, and feed it a fertilized egg without it attacking you. This can be very difficult, so passive taming aggressive creatures is hard to do, and I recommend you make sure you know how to do it beforehand. But the easiest one for sure is the Lystrosaurus. I'll show you a little clip here of me taming the Tusoteuthis, and that'll give you a little insight into how passive taming might work. So that's the difference between knockout taming and passive taming dinos and how to do each one. Remember the Dotadex, look that up if you need specifics on a certain dino. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out and it's free. And also comment in the description if you want to see a specific taming guide for a specific creature. It's a lot easier to do that than to do a general overall video on stuff. So let me know. Thank you for watching and have a great day.